Welcome back to another episode of Purely Awesome Dads. I'm your co-host, Jeff Haberly, along with
Justin Bruce. Jeff, awesome to see you today.
awesome to see you too, man. Looking forward to another episode here. And again, we're kind of between this Christmas and New Year's holiday time, so a little bit of time off with the family here. But it's great to talk to you. Great to see you today.
Likewise, dude. And today I'm so excited because today this was Jeff's idea, and I'm really excited about it. We're going to unveil like some actual certain products that we each use, and I'm going to let Jeff kick it off. And the way we're going to do it is we're going to go back and forth for a few minutes here and talk about why we use it. And hopefully you guys really enjoy this because I'm excited because I don't even know what he's going to share, and he doesn't know what I'm going to share. So this is going to be a really awesome experience. So Jeff, I'm going to pass it off. You're up, buddy.
Sounds good, man. Yeah, this is like a surprise kind of show and tell. And I said, all these episodes we've been doing have really been focused on, the why, maybe a little bit on the what and the how, but we want to show maybe some more, tangible, tools, kind of fitness tools, resources today. So I'll start off with kind of a softball one here. But this is just the foam roller. So I like to have a thick pad. It's kind of hard to see on camera here. And this thing, I got it on Amazon for maybe like 20, 25 bucks. Anyways, that's kind of my first thing. I use this thing pretty much every morning, use it for doing, push-ups, stretching, everything. So that's my first thing.
Oh, dude, I love it.
What's yours?
All right. So, Jeff, first of all, it's fantastic. And one thing we do want to stress in this show is that, so we're not getting endorsements yet for any of these. Now, we're open to it, but we don't have any yet. So the products you're seeing here are actually stuff that we really do use, either on a day-to-day basis, weekly, whatever it is. So these are definitely unique to us. So I've got a unique object here. It looks like a sexual toy. It is not.
What is that?
But so I found this on Shark Tank a few years ago, and it's called the back. Unfortunately, the name isn't on here. It rubbed off, so I have to go look it up. But basically, what it is it's a true trigger point. It's designed by a nurse, and so the way you use it is you put it exactly where you have pain, and you pull, and it's almost like getting a real deep tissue massage, and it's targeted. And I will tell you that it looks weird, but I've had it for 4 years now, and it doesn't break. It's really malleable, and it's something that I use on a day-to-day basis as well. And I love this thing because it really just gets in there. Like you just hit the spot, 3-4 seconds, you let it go, and it's just like it's that instant release. So it works great. So I'll find the exact name of it. We'll post it on here, but this is what I recommend.
So next thing, another kind of follow up to the foam pad there. This is the Trigger Point foam roller, right? So a friend of mine, personal trainer, he recommended this brand to me before I had just like the smooth, hard, kind of foam one, which is good for certain areas. But this one has more of kind of the ribs and then like the smaller. So it's supposed to like kind of simulate like a massage, fingers, right? Kind of kneading right into your sore areas. Big fan of this. I use this even just to kind of roll out my back in the morning. So I do get like lower back, soreness, and kind of lay it down there, lay it on your mid back, and then just kind of roll it back and forth and arch back. And it you'll feel kind of little adjustments, little tweaks along your spine. When I'm doing my recovery, foam rolling, that'll be a lot of, hips, IT band, especially, and quads and calves. It works amazing. So that's my next one. All right, Justin.
We talked about this last time, but I've got a Hypersphere a couple weeks ago, and this is the first time I've used it for about 2 weeks now, and I freaking love this device. And again, everything we've talked about so far is fairly inexpensive, $30 or less, somewhere in that range, maybe 40, but they're not horrible. This is about $100. It'll set you back quite a bit, but it's totally worth it, especially if you've got areas that are bothering you. Like my hip flexor is really bothering me for the last like 2 weeks, whatever. And I literally, it has a timer on it. So you don't set it. It's automatically set to go on and off. You just basically turn it on, and it has 3 different levels of vibration. And it just literally gets in there, and you just roll on it, and you can't believe the difference it makes. So this is my item number 2 that I just swear by. And it's something that, I've noticed I had huge hip flexor problems when I was running, and I couldn't figure out why. And I started using this, and trust me, I found out why. It was some knot that I couldn't get to. And it definitely got rid of it. So that's my item number 2.
Awesome. And mine kind of follows on my item number 3, I guess, follows on that too. It's not like the vibration one, but it's the small Trigger Point foam, and this same thing for hip flexors. and they were getting really tight as well from running and biking. And this is the smaller version, and it hurts like hell at first, man. If you have tight
Oh yeah.
flexors, IT, man, it really hurts. But the more you do it, and I say only do a few minutes at a time, right? It doesn't take much. Don't overdo it. Maybe 5 minutes, right, on each side, and then kind of every other day starting out. And then after a while, you could kind of work it up to every day, but every other day, kind of let your body recover the next day. That's kind of the routine that's really worked well for me. So I say I do this maybe 2-3 times a week, both sides. And you also use this kind of on your calves if you have a really tight spot, kind of roll down there as well. It kind of gets in tighter than the foam roller.
So my item number 3 is something, again, that's not very expensive. It's something that is incredibly powerful to use. So it's basically a long stretch band. So you can put any, your foot in here, your other arm, and it's really good. It's a long strap. I think this was like $12, and I got it on Amazon as well. And this is really awesome, especially for stretching your quads and your hamstrings out a lot. It gives you a lot more mobility, and you can stretch in new ways. And I don't know, I've loved it ever since I got it.
And that kind of along that same line. So just regular, I don't know if that band you had is kind of flexible, but you're right. It's just the resistance band. And this is one example. This one's a little firmer, the black version. But anyways, I just do all different exercises. You can find them online, YouTube, right? So many different exercises, and they kind of work the smaller muscles, right? In your shoulders, your forearms, and then also using it for stretching, laying on your back. And you'll be surprised at how much this thing will work your muscles. And these are very inexpensive, and work great, multi-purpose there.
Awesome. So one thing I do for basically overall body. So one of the things that I like to do now that I've gotten a little older is a lot of do core strength, but like I don't lift a ton of weights anymore. It's more like the push-ups and the sit-ups and doing like crazy, planking and stuff like that. So the other thing I use a lot of the time is this.
Oh, the big ball.
And the reason I like it is I stuck with a brand. It's called Urban Fit. I think the ball costs $25 on Amazon. And the reason I like that brand is that they guarantee it for life. And I've had it for about a year now. And my youngest son took a pencil to it about 6 months ago. And I literally just called them and they sent a new one. So They really do honor their lifetime guarantee, even if it's your fault. So something to think about. And the neat part about this one is not only is it good for stretching because you can arch your back and do different things on it, but it's really nice, especially for your core. You can do a lot of exercises that you can't do, even if you're on a bench or anything else, because you get new angles and you can rotate. And it's really conforming to your body. So it's very easy. So it's not hard on any surface or anything like that. So I really recommend it.
And then one more thing. Well, I got a couple more things, but
please.
So along with the recovery thing, and again, this is trigger point again, but
what is that?
I had, going back a couple years ago, I was starting to get some plantar, fasciitis in my arches, right, in my feet. And that was from a lot of running, and I was actually wearing, I won't name the brand, but it was a brand, it was very promoted by one of the local running stores. And so I used them for years, but then over time it started getting, tighter and tighter. I was starting to have, some aches and pains kind of getting towards, plantar fasciitis. And I talked to my physical therapist at the time, and she recommended, get rid of those insoles, just go with, the standard ones that come with your shoes. And then along with this guy too. So this is just a foot massager. It just rolls, gets in your arches everywhere. And I had some really tight knots in both feet. And I was a little skeptical at first, but after using this maybe every other day, kind of like with, the foam roller and the massage ball, it went away. I mean, it took maybe a couple months of consistent work, but at least for my feet, I mean, I have no like foot pain or arch pain anymore at all for a couple of years.
God, that's awesome.
So I swear by this thing, use it consistently.
Awesome. Yeah. Cause I mean, one of the things we haven't really talked about here so much. So first of all, this stuff is fantastic. The other piece of it is the process piece of it, right? Like it is a process. Like we talked in our last episode a little bit about the nutrition piece and the process there. But I think even in this recovery piece, like, I mean, my hamstrings have been tight since I was a kid. Right. And I know that I can't go down and touch my toes super easy, but I want to, right? So I follow it a little bit more each day, et cetera. And so I think the same thing with all this. Like, I think you brought up an unbelievably important point that we need to stress here is that take your time. Don't overdo anything. I think that's just a point that we need to stress on all these things is that it's really fun to get a new toy and try it out, but make sure that you don't do it, 5 times in a day. kind of thing, right?
I really hope you enjoyed part 1 of this episode. Jeff and I will continue to explore these tools, techniques, and more in part 2. See you in just a minute.